Alright guys, okay, right now we'll discuss about skill 27, right? Skill 27 di listeningnya Longman, listen for answers in order. Jadi dengarkan jawaban yang berurutan guys. Right, ini lanjutan dari skill sebelumnya ya, skill 23, 23 ya kan? 23 itu tentang antisipasi topik. Kalau yang 24 itu tentang antisipasi pertanyaan. 25 itu tentang menentukan topik. 26, 26 menggambarkan kesimpulan tentang apa, siapa, kapan, dan di mana. Nah, sekarang yang 27 ini listen for answers in order. Dengarkan jawaban yang berurutan, ya. Saya bacain ya. There are two possible methods to use while you listen to the talks. Ada dua ini ya, metode yang memungkinkan untuk digunakan ketika kamu mendengarkan pembicaraan. You can just listen to the talk and ignore the answers. Jadi kalian bisa dengerin dulu keseluruhan obrolan pembicaraannya dan tidak peduli sama jawabannya. Atau nomor 2, you can follow along with the answers while you listen. Kamu bisa sambil mengikuti ya, sambil ngeliatin lembar jawaban itu, pilihan jawaban sambil dengar, bisa juga kayak gitu ya. Karena kalau yang lebih efektif itu sambil ini sih guys, sambil dibaca sih pertanyaan-pertanyaannya, jadi kalian lebih siap ya. Kira-kira oh ini bakalan nanya ini nih kayak gitu. Kita langsung aja ke latihannya. Oke, si ceweknya ya ngomong gini ya. The Great Chicago Fire, kebakaran besar di Chicago, began on October 8, 1871, dimulai pada tanggal 8 Oktober 1871 ya. And according to legend began when a cow knocked over a lantern in Mrs. O'Leary's barn. Jadi legendanya dimulai ketika seekor sapi menjatuhkan, jadi ini ceritanya gitu ya maksudnya ya, menjatuhkan lentera di gudangnya Nyonya O'Leary ya, O'Leary's barn. No matter how it began, tidak peduli bagaimana awalnya, it was disastrous. It was a disastrous fire. Itu adalah kebakaran yang bencana ya, membawa bencana gitu ya. The preceding summer, musim panas sebelumnya, had been exceedingly dry in the Chicago area ya. Musim panas sebelumnya sangat kering itu di wilayah Chicago ya. And the extreme dryness accompanied by Chicago's infamous winds created an inferno that destroyed 18,000 buildings and killed more than 300 people before it was extinguished the following day. Oh, ini panjang banget ini ya. Dan kekeringan ekstrim disertai angin Chicago yang terkenal itu menciptakan kebakaran yang menghancurkan berapa guys? 18,000 bangunan ya, dan menewaskan 300 orang sebelum padam pada hari berikutnya. Extinguished itu padam ya maksudnya. Oke, terus pertanyaannya, naratornya ngomong gini. Nomor 1 ya. Pertanyaannya, according to the legend, menurut legendanya, where did the Great Chicago Fire begin? Di mana awal mulanya kebakaran hebat di Chicago itu ya? Di mana? Di mana? Di gudang ya, di lumbung ya, in a barn ya. Di lumbung guys. Terus nomor 2-nya, which of the following is not true about the Great Chicago Fire? Yang mana yang berikut ini yang nggak benar tentang kebakaran besar di Chicago? Jawabannya adalah yang B guys, it happened during the summer. Jadi tadi dia kan bilang gini, the preceding summer had been exceedingly dry in the Chicago area. Alright, musim panas sebelumnya sudah sangat membuat Chicago area di Chicago itu kering gitu guys. Berarti musim panas sebelumnya, berarti kan setelah musim panas ini keadaannya gitu loh guys. Tapi masih kering gitu loh. Habis musim panas itu musim ini ya, musim gugur ya. Tapi masih kering. Kalau yang A itu the dry weather prior to, sebelum ya maksudnya ya. Sebelum, prior to itu sebelum. The fire, sebelum kebakaran, made it worse. Jadi kekeringan di wilayah tersebut sebelum kebakaran itu membuat kebakarannya itu lebih buruk gitu ya. Kalau yang C, Chicago's wind made it worse. Angin di Chicago membuatnya lebih buruk. Soalnya tadi ada kata infamous wind. Chicago's infamous winds created an inferno ya kan. menciptakan neraka, ya, kobaran gitu ya. Angin di Chicago itu menciptakan kobaran. Berarti yang C benar juga. Yang D, it killed many people, ya, membunuh banyak orang, ya, sekitar 300 orang. Alright, oke, coba kita ke TOEFL exercise 27 guys ya. Siapin buku sama pulpen. Alright, buku sama pulpen, terus ya nanti ada audionya bunyi. Terus kalian tebak ya, salah nggak apa-apa, it's okay. 1 sampai 15 ya, tulis angka dulu, 1 sampai 15. Alright, 1 sampai 15. Kalau udah siap, mulai ya. Ready? 3, 2, and 1, and go.
TOEFL Exercise 27. Listen to each complete talk and answer the questions that follow. Talk 1. Questions 1 through 5. Listen to a talk given by a professor.
Welcome to Biology 101. I'm Professor Martin, and this is your laboratory assistant, Peter Smith. This course meets twice a week for lecture and once a week for laboratory assignments. The text for this course is Introduction to Biological Sciences by Abramson. You should get the text and read the first chapter before the next class. You will also need to get the laboratory manual that accompanies the text. I've passed out a copy of the course syllabus. This syllabus lists the reading assignments and exam dates. Note that we will cover one chapter a week for each of the next 15 weeks in the semester, and there will be 3 exams throughout the course. Grades in this course are based on your exam grades and your grades on the laboratory assignments. Are there any questions?
Number 1. When does this talk probably take place? Number 2. How often will Professor Martin give lectures? Number 3. What is the assignment for the next class? Number 4. What information is given in the syllabus? Number 5. What will the professor use to determine the final course grades? Talk 2. Questions 6 through 10. Listen to a lecture given by a professor.
In yesterday's class, we discussed the volcanoes located in the area known as the Ring of Fire, an area which basically encircles the Pacific and includes the United States' Mount St. Helens, as well as Japan's Mount Fuji and Argentina's Aconcagua, the highest mountain in the Western Hemisphere. Most of the world's approximately 500 active volcanoes are located along the Ring of Fire, and the eruptions that take place there are among the most violent in the world. Today, we are going to discuss the volcanoes of Hawaii, which are quite different from the volcanoes in the Ring of Fire. Hawaiian volcanoes are not located along the Ring of Fire and are therefore not caused by the movement of the Earth's plates against each other. Instead, Hawaii is located in the middle of the Ring of Fire, above a massive plate rather than where 2 plates meet. The result is that Hawaiian volcanoes are much gentler than those in the Ring of Fire. Hawaiian volcanoes have much less gas in them, which causes less explosive eruptions, and the lava in Hawaiian volcanoes is thinner, which results in mounds that are long and low rather than high and steep, because the lava flows farther and builds mounds gradually with long, low slopes. Mauna Loa, the name of one of Hawaii's most famous volcanoes, actually means long mountain.
Number 6. What was the topic of yesterday's lecture? Number 7. What is the topic of today's lecture? Number 8. Where are most of the world's active volcanoes located? Number 9. What is characteristic of Hawaii's volcanoes? Number 10. What is Mauna Loa? Talk 3. Questions 11 through 15. Listen to a talk about the Smithsonian.
I hope you've enjoyed your visit so far in Washington, D.C. Today we're going on a tour of the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian is actually several museums, each with a different focus, situated together on a mall. These museums in total have more than 60 million items on exhibit. The first Smithsonian museum we'll visit is the Museum of Natural History, which has various types of stuffed animals and exhibits showing the lifestyles of early American Indians and Eskimos. From the Museum of Natural History, we'll go on to the National Air and Space Museum, where we'll see displays that show the development of flight. In this museum, you can see the airplane that Orville Wright used to make his first flight and the airplane that Charles Lindbergh used to cross the Atlantic. After we visit those two museums as a group, you'll have free time to visit some of the other Smithsonian museums, the Museum of American History, the Smithsonian Arts and Industries Building, and the various art museums located on the Smithsonian Mall. After our trip to the Smithsonian today, we'll go on to the White House and Capitol Building tomorrow.
Number 11. Who is probably giving this talk? Number 12. How many items are on exhibit in the Smithsonian museums? Number 13. According to the talk, which museum has exhibits of early Eskimos? Number 14. Which museum will they visit as a group? Number 15. Where will they go tomorrow?